Hello, welcome. I am here to walk through this software that I've been building. I've been working really hard on it for, God, months. Spent hundreds of hours, probably thousands of hours at this point. And it kind of came out of the idea that I've worked in the Amazon space for a really long time, like over 13 years. I've been fortunate enough to handle really large sales volumes, upwards of $350 million or so in that time span. And of course, with the AI craze, everything going on, I have been using AI pretty heavily and just realized there were a lot of gaps and inefficiencies in just kind of using Claude and ChatGPT, and even using some of these MCP connectors that people have created for Amazon. It was just leaving a lot to be desired. And so this is created as something of a hybrid software between legacy software where you have really good visualizations of your data, dashboards. You can look through everything and figure out what's going wrong and manage things yourself if you desire to do it that way and you do not trust these systems. Totally understandable. And it also bridges the gap into the new era. So there are self-learning agents within the software with adaptive automations that read your account, figure out what's working, prioritize bids, surface listing recommendations, identify when issues are happening with the buy box, send you alerts, all sorts of stuff that the agents can handle. And you have really strict guardrails in here, so you can approve yourself. You can set it to partially approve some actions within a strict set of rules, or when things are really working smoothly, it can pretty much do it itself. So first you log in, you connect your Amazon selling account via SP API, and then you connect your ads account. And from there, after a few minutes, it'll scan your account, it'll surface recommendations immediately, give you a nice score, or a grade, and that's kind of helps with onboarding, helps you guide you to the right places to kind of get some instant value out of the software. In this case, we have some reimbursements, wasted ad spend, some listing scores that are low, and there are tools that fix all of this and push directly to Amazon. And every day you get a today's focus card. This is generated based on what is the absolute highest critical action you can take to save money right now, or earn more money. In this case, there's a campaign at a high ACoS, and you can review and pause it directly in the software. You have kind of a general account score based on how things are going, and the goal is, of course, the more you use the software, the score will improve or decrease if you launch listings that are not well optimized or if your ads are suffering. It imports your account health, and you have historical charts of your account health if you want to view that, because that is lacking in Amazon Seller Central. You have kind of current account health, but not historical trends for a lot of things. And then there's an action center. So this is other issues that are surfaced by the software, campaigns, listing scores that are low. And so this is kind of your just kind of main dashboard. And then you have this assistant on the side, which you can ask to stage fixes, analyze anything, guide you to the right module, the right place in the software to fix things. It can do all sorts of sophisticated analysis. Think of it as just having, Claude basically right within the software. But the difference is it lives on the account data. So it has everything in your account currently up to date, and a lot of kind of proprietary data and algorithms that are imported that are very Amazon specific. So it's not using outdated data. Everything is, based in the kind of AI era. And so there's a lot of different functionalities in the software. So I'll try to keep it somewhat brief, but it's hard to, because it's really powerful and it can do quite a bit. So listing builder, you can create your own listings from scratch. Basically all you need here is, of course, the more data, the better. So you can put in whatever product name, as vague as you want, the category, the cost per unit that it's going to cost you, and the target margin, and then it will recommend a price based on current Amazon data and competitors. And you can upload any target keywords that you've scraped. There's a keywords tool that you can feed into this as well within the software, and any reference files. So pictures, stock files, anything like that. And then it will just build the listing entirely based on your inputs. And the listing's going to be completely optimized, 75 character title limit, item highlights, bullet points. You can refine each section if you want. So you can tell it, I don't like this. Yeah, it has some recommendations, add the dimensions, more benefit driven, stuff like that. And my apologies on the sides. This is a test account, so it is pulling some. It's not using live data right now in an account. So the chat was not able to pull up the recommendations, but on a live account, you will have buttons and staged fixes that are going to be actionable right in there. So hopefully you can do some. I mean, we could see if we can click some of these recommendations to get some output. Back to the listing builder. Yeah, you have A+ content. You can toggle that in settings if you are brand registered or not. Backend keywords, everything you need. And it has image briefs as well, so there's not a built-in image generator because I think other AIs can do that better. I also think you should probably maybe not even use AI to make images and take good photos. You can make edits with AI, or get a freelancer. But this will generate briefs to create the images. So it'll basically make really perfect prompts for each AI tool, whatever that is preferred for you, Midjourney, Nano Banana, and then you'll be able to copy and paste those briefs directly into those platforms, and you're going to get a really, really good output. And it also has full PDF briefs for designers themselves, so they can create the images. Into the advertising module, well, I guess I'll continue with products because we're starting with that. Listing audit is really cool. I've done a ton of work on this one. And let's see if I can get a good example here. This one's not audited yet. Yeah, so this one has some data. So you can, keyword data is external, so you can paste in your keyword data. And so if you have other tools that you use that are scraping keyword and search data, you can put that in here in any format at all. It'll know what to do, and then that'll help weave those keywords into the listing. It also, we do have live keywords that are being scraped from data for SEO, so it's not like it's running blind or anything. It's just kind of if you have your own data that you like. You get a score for the listing based on all these different dimensions, images, title, bullet points. The interesting ones, COSMO, semantic, and Alexa for shopping readiness, are, I think, extra interesting because they're rooted in the latest algorithmic changes for Amazon. So they're doing, they're ranking things based on actual intent as opposed to just bare search keywords. And same with Alexa for shopping readiness. That's whether the AI is going to try to surface your product when people are searching within the AI tool in Amazon. So you've got main image generation tools, so you can generate the images here based on the recommendations. You have this lens where you can, there's basically different parts of the image are referenced, and it tells you what the analysis is and why it's making that analysis. And then you have some recommendations as to what to do first. In this case, main image, all sorts of stuff, lifestyle shot, awards and critical recognition image. It's all very category specific. and you can refine each section if you want, if you don't like anything, and regenerate it. The title as well, you can edit, push directly to Amazon, it'll give you the recommendation, push that directly to the listing. Bullet points, A+ content, you can generate content briefs similar to the images from earlier. There's keyword analysis, and you can even run deep competitor analysis, so you can pull live competitor keyword and image data to do a deep competitor analysis that is going to basically A/B test compared to your live listing, and it's going to try to see what they're doing that's working or not working and factor that in. And yeah, all sorts of really, really powerful data to improve your listings tremendously and really get them ready for kind of the new way that people are searching for products. So a really powerful module. Again, that's just one of them. There's 19 different modules, so there's a lot of functionality in this software. If you're familiar selling on Amazon, I mean, you should really check it out. Like, you'll be living in this software because it consolidates so many workflows into one place in a way that I don't think anyone else is doing. And so advertising is the most extensive of the modules for sure. You have your typical expend, tacos, ACoS, all that is tracked. You can add cost of goods sold to get your real profit. Your priority actions, just like the homepage, it just goes more in depth. And it even finds anomalies that are happening. You can analyze those anomalies, and you get campaigns that need review, what are dormant. This is kind of the homepage for advertising. There's attribution, so that is basically when it's properly synced, it shows off Amazon sales. So it'll actually find out how many sales are coming from off Amazon sources that are being driven to the Amazon listing, if that makes sense. Campaigns, you can click into every campaign and update it. These ones are not live. Let's see, are there any that are live in here? Don't think so. But typically you would get a graph and a lot of data on that campaign that you can edit right within that software. I'll make a different video just focusing on advertising, I think, on a live account, so we can really see everything properly. You've got ad groups, and then, so this is kind of just for, reviewing. You can filter, look at the spend, look at what's performing or not, and from monitoring, you can go into optimize. There's search terms that get surfaced. So you have recommended actions to take, harvest, watch, negate. You can harvest and negate them right here. You have spend, sales for every keyword. You'll get automatic AI suggestions as to what to do, and n-grams, which is basically wasteful word patterns that spend over $5 with no orders across over 3 terms. And so you can negate phrases that way. I'm just going to briefly go over some of these because there's a lot, but you can look at your targeting and the spend that way. There's AI scores, so you can pause different targets as well. Negative targeting, same thing basically. You have suggested negatives to negate. Placements. Dayparting is also very cool. This will show when your ad spend is most useful, basically, and then you can actually optimize towards those time windows. So you're only gonna, you don't want to be spending on time windows when people are not purchasing. So you can actually create rules that are going to increase or decrease budget based on the time of the day. And then AI analysis, of course, this will generate a really long, in-depth AI analysis of your current advertising situation and what you should do. And And then there's PPC and organic overlap. So that's if you're spending money on keywords, but you're already ranking well for them organically, you're kind of wasting money because people are going to search those terms, and if you're not paying, you're still showing up in a really good place. So this is another way to save money. And then automations, I think, are really interesting. So we are in the process of rolling out adaptive migrations. So don't mind this little bar up top, which are basically just improves this by making it self-learning and self-improving. So it's going to cache a lot more data, which is, of course, encrypted and everything. And it's going to be able to learn and recommend automations based on your specific account. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different ones. You have keyword harvesters, which you can configure based on ACoS, clicks. Wasted spend killer is going to automatically negate search terms, basically with a certain number of spend and no orders. Stockout guard is going to watch your days of inventory and then stage budget cuts or pauses to your ad campaign, so you're not just selling a bunch of products that are going to run out. Goal-based bid optimizer, it'll adjust your bids based on a certain target ACoS with max change guardrails and stuff like that. With bid floors, bid ceilings, and it's going to constantly try to get towards the target ACoS that you choose. And inventory aware pausers is similar to stockout guard, which is basically pauses for ASINs that are approaching stockout. And so on to audit. You just have the change log, so everything that has been changed you can view here. And then advertising preferences is basically what you're going to want to set up first. So you can put in your cost of goods sold, FBA fees, which actually they do get imported, and risk tolerance and some guardrails and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the advertising module. We have orders, which it's basically an order dashboard. See how orders are going. There's the P&L is baked into orders, so you can get your actual live P&L, and we're adding some integrations too. So there will be some read-only integrations for like other platforms that you might sell on. So this is more accurate for your entire business if you don't only sell on Amazon. But yeah, net profit, profit by product, and stuff like that. And forecasting is a really good one. Naturally, it's just automatically going to tell you exactly when you need to reorder products based on how quickly they're selling. So no need for spreadsheets, none of that. You can input your lead time, and it's basically going to give you how many days left based on the orders and the quantity that you should order. So here there's some that are right about to run out of stock, and recommended reorder quantity based on revenue. And it's all automatic, of course. You can export it as well into a spreadsheet, and you can always run an AI analysis on any of this. We also have the business timeline. That's basically business events and anything that's been happening in your business over time. So there could be like promotions, different changes that have happened in your business. And same with decision log is similar in that is a log of all of the decisions that the software has made or that you have approved or denied. Just kind of gives you a nice history, and you can always go back and revert changes if you did something by mistake or if it's just not working out the way that you want it to. Custom breakdowns, you can break down your products into different presets. So if there is a launch cohort of products, so brand new products that you've launched and you want to group those together and track them, you can actually tailor every module to that. So you can have it, only look at every advertising module with this specific cohort of products that we've labeled launch products. So you can kind of parse out your listings and action them a bit easier. Alrighty, on to protect. There are alerts you can set up, reimbursement claims. It's going to scan your Amazon account, show you what's recoverable, and then you're able to prepare the claim itself. So you can generate a case text and then submit it in Seller Central. So it's against policy for any automated sending of these cases for reimbursement claims. And so we don't actually file them ourselves. There are different services for that if you're interested in it, but it does make it super easy for you to file these and recover some money. And it's already scanned all of your shipments, so it knows which ones have discrepancies. And escalation plans is also really interesting. So you can basically create a plan, because Amazon's really ambiguous with support. It's really hard to know who to talk to. Just like when there's an issue, you get run around in circles with support. And this will give you a really clear plan based on the issue as to how to escalate a potential problem. So whether it's review manipulation or IP complaints, you can choose the category, give it a title, and describe as best as you can. You can even add case IDs, and then it'll get more context and any steps you've taken. And then when you hit generate, you'll get a plan like this, which will guide you through exactly what to do. And again, I think it's much better than just a chatbot, because it's very Amazon specific. It's very updated with the current process, the current people to contact, how to escalate, and it makes the messages fully compliant with Amazon, which can be a problem with just kind of generic chatbots. And of course, it's saved and trackable, so you can always go back with a much better UI, mark things pending in progress and done, and just escalate the correct way without any risk of kind of generic AI sounding drivel that would come out of a typical chatbot. On top of that, we have the POA Builder. Plan of Action Builder is really, really powerful. I'm not going to create a full one right now because it will take a while. Not too long, but you want to do it right, and definitely a lot faster than writing it yourself. But you can choose violation type, give it context about what happened, what evidence you do have, previous POAs, Amazon notification. It'll give you recommended documents that you need to gather, and you choose if you have them or you don't, and it'll tailor the POA around that. And at the very end, it'll put everything all together into one package that it's just ready to submit. I've had good success. I've actually reinstated accounts with that tool, so it's verified that it works. That's more or less it. There's some other small things. Actually, the deliverables builder is really cool. Remove this filter. And just to show you, it's basically you're able to build any sort of deliverable that you would have in a business. Really useful for agencies especially. So if you have clients and you're managing seller accounts, you can give them really, really strong deliverables based on the status of their business and what you guys have been working on. That's always rooted in the reality, of course. So whether it's a PowerPoint, or PDF, or just a internal business review that you want to send to your boss, you can generate all that with this tool. And you choose the categories, time period, the format that you want, the audience, and any additional instructions. You can always add or remove whatever data sources you want, and then it'll just generate the full deliverable. And it's always, of course, rooted in reality, so much faster than just using a chatbot and telling it everything that happens, so it can spit it back out in a more professional format. So yeah, that's more or less the software. I mean, there's of course a lot to it, and you can go really deep if you want, or you're always able to just kind of sit back and let it recommend the best possible actions that you can do on a daily basis. And the more that you do that, the more your account compounds and the more money you will make, without having to run deep dives in your data all the time. And so I'm getting really good feedback from it. It starts at $49 a month. There's no like percentage of ad spend or cost per tokens. It's flat rate, $49 up to it's $500 a month for agency, which supports 10 selling accounts, or up to 40 you can add for a small fee. And most people get the $100 a month plan because that has the best kind of feature set balance. There's a $200 a month plan that has more sophisticated AI model. So the normal plan is certainly plenty powerful, I think, but if you wanted to, use the higher, more expensive model, of course, there's a more expensive subscription cost. And yeah, I mean, it's an excellent software. Hope you guys think about checking it out, because there's nothing else like it, and I think it's really, really strong. So it's SellerForge.ai. My name's David, and see you guys soon.